Oh,
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Joined today is my lovely co-host, Kelsey. She's the only person here. It's just us two. It's been a little while since it's been just the two of us on a podcast, I believe.
It's been a long time, actually. Yeah. How have you been, dude? What do you want to talk about?
We totally didn't have like a long conversation before this podcast started at all. Yeah.
Not at all.
No behind the scenes bullshit here, folks. I actually, cute story. So last night, as most of you know, I'm a big ghost buff. I love ghost shit. So I'm sitting there watching Ghost Adventures, and I'm on the couch, and they were getting some fucking solid evidence, solid evidence. And it's like they're listening to EVPs, and I'm like, oh, I want to hear that. Oh, I want to hear that. And I'm laying on the long part of the couch, and my girlfriend was messing with something. And my daughter is right next to me, and she's on her back. She's laying on the couch. She's just looking over, and she just got to the point where she's finding her voice. So I'm trying to listen, and she's just like, and I look at her, and I'm like, because she just noticed that she could start doing that. Like, it's always been squawking like a bird, and now that she just started noticing that she could, like that, she does it all the time now. All the fucking time. There's nothing wrong with her, because you'll pick her up, she's just smiling and laughing. There's nothing wrong with her. So they're all like, oh, did you hear that? And then they go to listen to it, and it's like, and I'm like, Lily, please. I want to know what they're saying. And she just wants attention. That's all she's doing. She just wants attention. So I pick her up. I turn over on my side, and I pick her up where her back is laying here, and her head is like right here at my chin. So then she's just sitting there, just looking at her fingers, being a baby, doing a baby thing. And she's getting to the point where she's starting to recognize, like, kisses and stuff like that. So she rolls her head over, and I started to kiss her forehead as I'm, like, paying attention to the show. And so I would stop, and she would just look up at me, like, without moving her head. She'd just look at me like this, wait a couple seconds, and if I wouldn't start kissing again, she would force her head into my lips, and so I started kissing again. Then she'd go back to what she was doing. She did it, like, fucking 20 times in a row. 20 times. Non-stop. Like, it was crazy, because then she'll just go back to doing what she's doing, and then she'll remember, oh yeah, Lovins. Like, every time I was
That's
like,
amazing.
child, you're killing me. So yeah, that was last night for me.
I love kids discovering things and doing, like, figuring out, like, I can make this
Yes.
noise and I'll get a reaction from it, right? I find that so amazing. So when I started babysitting, I started babysitting 3 boys. 2 of them are twins that were 9 months old, and then there's an older, like, 2 or 3-year-old. And I was in the car when I learned something about myself. This kid learned something about me and then started using it against me. I now know that if I hear somebody breathing and there's mucus in their throat where you can hear, like, the when they breathe, I will start coughing because I hear it, and my body's like, oh, gotta get rid of that crap. And I'm an only child, so it's not like a sibling could do this to me, kind of thing. So the first time I heard this kid was doing that because he was just breathing, and then I kept coughing. I'm like, why am I coughing? Like, I have nothing going on. And I realized it was him, and I realized at the same moment he did, and then he just started smiling, like, I mean, I'm like, I have to cough, but you have to stop.
Yep, right. Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, sometimes I feel like she does it just to get, like, a laugh out of me or her mom, because then we'll start laughing, and she starts laughing, and she just stares at us. So, yeah, she's, like I said, she's cracking me up. But yeah, I was on the phone with, like, a customer the other day, because I'm still working remote, and they just hear, and they're like, what is that? And I was like, that is my daughter trying to turn into the She-Hulk, so you'll have to just forgive her for right now. I was like, she just found out she can make this noise, so that is all that she does. So
amazing. Oh
because it was nothing but bird squawks for the longest, and she does this thing that I love the most, where I pick on her, where, like, when she really wants your attention, she deflates, is what I call it. So she just goes, I'm like, well, my daughter just deflated, so I gotta go make sure she's okay. So
gotta go figure out what this shit that's all about. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. She just makes so many different fucking noises, and it cracks me the fuck up. I'm like, Jesus, kid. Oh my god. I was like,
Of
yeah, you're
those,
gonna be talkative. That's for
oh
sure.
yeah. Well, not only talkative, but as their brains develop, they learn new ways of interacting with their world. And one of the first
Hmm.
ways they learn is, can I do things that make these people that I interact with change their behavior? And that's obviously the stage that
Hmm.
she's at now, where she's kind of playing with you and Megan. And it's really frustrating to a lot of adults who are like, okay, I've checked on you, you've made your She-Hulk noise, and
Right.
now you've done it four
Exactly.
times, and I'm still checking on you. And it's like her brain hasn't gotten to the level, because given how young she is, there's a point where her brain is testing whether rules are real or not.
Hmm.
And that's often what parents hate the most, because it's about, I think it's before one, maybe a little bit after, where they're testing, where somebody will put down a rule and then she tests the rule to see, like, is this rule real? And it's
Hmm.
actually really valuable for parents to be on the same page about, like, yes, the rule is real, and if we put down a rule, it's real. And if somebody
Right.
comes into your house telling them, like, this is the rule, it's real, and we need you to stick to it, because that's what sets your child up for later success, when
Right.
they go, yes,
Exactly.
rules are real, and things like that. But I love the stages that they go through. I remember the boys that I babysit, one of them never wanted to sleep ever. He did not sleep as much as the rest of them, and so he would whine. So I'd pull him out, and he and I would hang out while his twin brother, was in the same room, while his brother could sleep. And then he and I would kind of walk around, and I'd try to calm him down and get him back to a place where he could sleep. But
Hmm.
I remember the first night I used to hold him up in front of the mirror, and I'd wave at him and stuff like that, but he couldn't figure out how to make eye contact with himself or with me through the mirror. And then I remember the first time he did, and he made eye contact with himself, and then he started, like, playing with the eye contact with
Hmm.
himself, because he realized he could do that. And then he realized I was there, and, like, watching him shift to realizing that he could make eye contact with me in the mirror,
Hmm.
and then looking at me, and then making eye contact with me in the mirror, and, like, playing with
Yeah.
that, and, like, waving his arm, and realizing, like, he realized how mirrors work, and got so excited about it. And watching this little 9-month-old baby figure this out was just joy to my heart, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I tried to do that with her a couple times. She's still too young for that. So, because we still have to
Yeah,
look at her adjusted age whenever we're doing stuff with her.
yeah.
So, all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's like today, tomorrow will be 6 months. And it's like, I'm so upset because like all the onesies and shit I want to buy her are
Mhm.
the lowest I can get is 6 months. And she still fits into like 0 to 3 month clothing. I'm like, fucking grow already. All right. I want to deck you out and chocobos and everything else. I got this shirt, or I got this onesie that's going to be on the way soon, that Megan absolutely wanted me to get because of the fact that she's behind as far as like weight and stuff goes, because
Yeah.
well, she's not
She
behind, she's where she
itty
needs
bitty.
to be, but as far as like where her month actually is versus her weight, it's different
Mhm.
for us. But like medical wise, she's exactly where she's supposed to be. She's proven just fine. And so I found this shirt where I took the logo off and put it onto a baby onesie, and then I ended up finding out that they did onesie, so then I just went ahead, I was going to get the onesie through them. But it is a fat chocobo, and it's like literally sitting on a whole bunch of Moogles, and they're all trying to reach out and stuff like that. And the fat chocobo literally says, "More weight, more power." It fits her so perfect right now. So yeah, Megan's like, we have to get that onesie for her. I
I
was like, she can't fucking fit in
absolutely
it,
love that.
right? So
Also, major props to your life partner for getting your kid where she needs to be, because that takes a
yeah,
ton of effort, and it's
yeah,
really, really hard. And we're not going to go into all the biological of how that's hard, but
yeah.
damn, I didn't know it when I had friends going through it, and now I know it, and, like, props. Lots of
Yeah,
props.
no, she does a really good job with all that, and I mean, because like it's got to the point where like Lily is a lot more comfortable feeding with Megan than she is with me. It's just all there is to it. So
Well,
I try
yeah.
to pick up my slack where I can, where it's like, I'll change the diapers. Like, give me all the diapers. Like, if you need, she needs, I got it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She needs me to put her in the crib. Cool, I'll put her in the crib. Like, you handle all that. Let me help out in other places where she doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. It's like, Dad changed my diaper. Here, I'll piss all over you. Whatever. So, and she doesn't do that, which is great. I did almost have an accident the other day because like she had just woke up and I thought maybe I gave her enough time, and apparently I didn't. So I started to pull the diaper back and I just started seeing pee, and I was just like, I put it down real quick and I was like, we're going to give that a couple minutes. Wait, and then I'll clean you up. We'll give you a bath. How about that? Dad will give you a bath. So yeah, but so yeah, like the feeding and stuff, like she just has gotten so good to the point where like, and obviously with the surgeries and stuff that we had to go through, Megan's gotten really good at like letting Lily tell her what's comfortable for her. And it's
Yeah.
interesting being the person on the outside of that, because like I said, Lily doesn't really like me to feed her that often. It's interesting to be able to see like the changes myself, because I'm not seeing it happen in real time to where Megan is, because she's feeding her multiple times a day. So it's like I'll be working or something, I'll go out and then I'll be like, oh wow, why is Lily? So like now Lily's like all sprawled out, and Megan has to have one hand on her stomach and then the other hand on the bottle, because that's where Lily wants her hand. And then Lily has the bottle here, and it has to be also doing this to her hand on the side here, or she throws a fit. Like, because she's trying to get used to the cleft being closed now. So, and it's just interesting to see, like, you know, like, I mean, Megan is doing an awesome fucking job of trying to figure this shit out and navigate it so that way Lily's still eating and growing and moving forward. So,
And gaining as much independence as she can gain at this
Yeah.
age, which we don't, in general, adults talk about kids like things like independence don't matter, because they're like, well, they're not going to have it anyway because I'm in control of everything, not realizing like they are small versions of us. If we give a shit about our independence and whatever we have control over, they give a shit about it. They
Right.
just do. And they will voice that very loudly and make your life a living hell. And if you try to like control them into being okay with that, they're never
not
going to
gonna
be
work.
okay with that. And
No.
you're going to actually be a tyrant, and it's not going to be okay. You need to recognize you've brought a person with their own preferences and their own way of doing things, and your life is going to change because they are here.
yeah.
Period.
I can't tell you how
That's the
many
way it
times
works.
just growing up as a kid, seeing other kids where it's like, or like littler kids, like whenever I was babysitting and stuff like that, where it's like, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. Like, there's a reason why they want to be independent. They want to be able to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Like, let me learn how to do it so I can do it. And it's like I told Megan, I'll be happy whenever I can see Lily just walking around with her own fucking bottle, and it's all like, fuck, you rock, go you, hell yeah, like fucking do it, you're good.
You say that now, but walking and running are very closely related, and then you turn around and she is down the street. You're like, the fuck?
That's true. I'm sure time will pass by extremely quick, so I'm trying to hold on to what I can while I can. So
I did have one parent of multiple kids tell me one time, she's like, when you're in it, each stage seems like the hardest stage. She's like, the next one is so much harder, and you don't know that. And she's like, and if you knew that, you would never have kids. Like, great, thanks. I don't have kids. And she's like, yeah, that's why I'm telling you. And I'm like, are you trying to tell me not to have kids right now?
so
Is that the stage you're at?
So funny part, I was doing some edits, and sometimes whenever like I'm editing, and I don't know how this happens, but sometimes me and James would just end up editing on the same day. So he'll text me and be like, hey, I don't see you in Discord, where you up to? And I'm like, I'm editing. He's like, me too. You want to just jump in Discord? So we'll just jump in Discord and talk to each other while we're editing fucking shit for Dead Funny. So we're both working on an edit, and he was working on Dead Buddies. I was working on the podcast. Or no, I was working on the review show that me and JoJo did for Mortal Kombat. And I have this black theater chair back here that you guys can't see off screen, or on screen, but it like has just enough room in it for me to put Lily's baby chair in it, and then I can sit her there. And without me having 3 monitors, every once in a while, like I'll turn something, because I don't want her having too much TV time, but I'll turn something and put something on, you know, like colorful and stuff for her to look at. And I had turned it, and she was going to let me know about it. She was going to let me know that she wasn't able to see it anymore. This is the best part, is that she just talks. Like, she's not whining or fussing. She's just talking. So she's just baby babble for nonstop while I'm trying to edit this. And I forgot that I have my mic on. So once again, she's not fussing. She's not crying. But James is like, I feel like I should record this. And then anytime, whenever I get in a fight with like a significant other, and they're like, you don't want to have kids that could just play this and be like, this is why. I was like, there you go.
That's
I was like,
terrible.
dude, it changes, man. I was like, it changes. I was like, I mean, obviously Lily wasn't planned, but this shit changes, dude. I love my daughter to death. It's awesome watching her grow up and discover all this new shit and do the things that she does. And I'm just all like, too much slobber though. That could do. I was like, I don't know how your mouth is just not fucking dried the fuck out. Like, every time I turn to look at her, it's just like, and I'm just, gotta change her onesie. She's just soaked. Anytime she sits up, it's just nuts. She cracks me up though.
A, let her cleft get fixed, and then B, let her grow up, and I promise it'll
Yeah,
go
sooner or
away.
later it will. Yes, I mean if she's 8 years old and still slobbering all over herself to the point she is now, I have not done my job as a father to help her out
Yeah,
learn how to close her mouth.
I am fully confident that you will get her to somebody who could help her with that before she is 8 years old.
Oh man, but yeah, we it was my mom's birthday the other weekend, and so we all got on Halo and played together to play with her, and I. It was funny. My cat was so pissed off at me because I put Lily in that chair and I put her on our living room table because whenever I play Halo, I have to do it on my Xbox because the Xbox is shit. So the connection between the Xbox computer, the Xbox just can't handle it anymore. Xbox is terrible. I'm so ready to get rid of my fucking Xbox. I literally only use it for streaming services. As soon as I upgrade to my smart TV, which I'm going to be doing soon, I'm going to take a hammer to that Xbox, and I've had multiple people ask me to film it, put it on Dead Funny. They're like, I want to see that shit. I'm thinking about it. We'll see what happens. Anyways, so I had her on this table. I don't let my cat on any surface besides furniture. She can be on the couch. She can be on the bed. I don't care about that. No counters, no tables, no nothing. She's not allowed to do that. So she sees Lily, who she's still loving from a distance. Like
Yeah.
she's getting
Nervous.
closer and closer. She's definitely getting closer and closer, which is great. Like the other day, she actually was like laying down next to me and Lily on the couch. But, she's still worried because like she gets close to Lily and then those hands start going like this because Lily gets excited. And for some reason, my daughter is a puppy. So she pants the entire time. Like every time she gets excited, it goes from her just sitting here just like, and as soon as she gets excited, she's like, and I'm like, stop. Like, you sound like a dog. All right. You're just panting away. It's insane every time she gets excited. So that kind of freaks Knox out, and Knox like, okay, fuck this, I'm out. Like, like, no, that's a little too much for me. So she gets on the corner of the couch, and she's just staring at Lily, and you could see her eyes go from Lily to the table, from Lily to the table, and then she looks at me, and then Lily, the table, then me, then Lily, the table, then me, and then just stares at me for a while, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You're not allowed on the table.
She is.
She just saunters off. She just saunters off, all pissed off. I was like, I mean, to be fair, my cat definitely has resting bitch face. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I love my cat to death, but no matter what, you could be petting her and she is purring up a storm, and she's still gonna be like, just it is what it is. I love her to death.
See, I would love to have resting bitch face. I personally have resting idiot face. When my face is fully relaxed, I look like I'd be lucky if I had one brain cell bouncing around in my head like that with the screensaver. Like, I look like an absolute fucking moron. I've seen pictures where I wasn't paying attention, and it's just this. And it's so dumb. Like, I'm doing it, and it kind of looks a little bit like a zombie, like I'm going to come to life and eat you. But I look so stupid. And I'm like, I'm not that dumb, so I've learned to, relax my face into, this genteel, it's just so creepy. Still fucking creepy, but at least I know I look like I may have a brain cell somewhere in there.
Right. Yeah.
I would so trade it for resting bitch face, because then at least I look angry and people aren't going to fuck with me, and they're not just like, oh god, we can just steal her lunch money by telling her there's a rainbow over there to look at. Like, she's real dumb.
Yeah, I don't think I really have any kind of particular face resting. Gets me is whenever I'm focused. That's my problem. So if I'm playing a video game or if I'm focused editing a video or anything like that, I always stick my tongue out. So I'll be playing a video game and then I'm like this. I'm like, and you'll see it in videos. Go watch any gaming video. Any gaming video on Dead Funny right now where it has my cam, guarantee you multiple times in the video you will see my tongue out. Every single time. I can't change it. Ever since I was a kid, I always, every single time. I don't know what it is. I don't notice it until my tongue gets dry, and then I'm like, oh man, what the hell? And then I'll put my tongue back in my mouth, and then 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, that tongue's going to be out again. It just...
Oh, that's really entertaining.
Yeah.
It's
on a shit ton of our content. Yeah.
When I'm really focused, I do that. My eyes get really big. I suck my lips in.
I am pretty confident that if you, the viewer, were to go look up mine and Kelsey's locked in, you might see both these faces at the exact same time.
That's very possible, actually.
That's very possible. You might see both those faces at the exact same time. I was actually looking over our thumbnails the other day, and it cracked me up whenever I got to our locked in one where it was you. And I love that moment. I can't remember what fucking video it was out of that whole slew. I know it was the second game, but I know it was when we were on that stupid one where you were up top and I was in the maze and you were trying to guide me around, and you fucked up the whole left-right situation.
I'm not good at it.
And your face, I caught whenever you finally noticed that you were the one that was fucking up because you were yelling at me, and then my face of just utter defeat. That's probably one of my favorite fucking thumbnails I've made so far. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I realized that we were super boned on that because you needed to turn right or left, and like my husband and I have genuinely had more than one fight over the fact that I'm not good at left and right. I'm definitely not good at it on the fly, and I'm definitely not good at it in a somewhat stressful situation with a camera pointed at my face. Mm-hmm. So like
not to mention it's a circle as well, so
and you're getting annoyed and I'm getting annoyed because I don't want to give you bad information, and I'm just like, and what also bothers me is Scott's downstairs. Like, he can hear me realizing that I'm not doing left and right well, which means that the next time I fuck it up in the directions, he's gonna be like, you know what, if you'd gotten this right, you wouldn't have had this problem with Chris either.
That's hilarious. Yes, Scott for the win.
That's not gonna make that fight go well.
For me. Scott for the win. I like that. Be like, well, fucking Chris wouldn't be pissed off right now.
If you did
fucking
this
learn
right,
this
your
shit.
Content would have been better.
And the sad part is that it's actually the other way around. Because you fucked up, it made the content better. Because everybody's fucking laughing at us like these motherfuckers can't even get out of a maze.
Woman claims to be intelligent. She doesn't look like it when she concentrates. When she relaxes her face, she doesn't know right from left.
You go left.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh, that's fucking hilarious. Oh man.
So, I have a story to tell you that I think may amuse you. So, I have two kinds of hiccups. One of these hiccups is a normal sounding hiccup, and then one of them is this much, much higher pitched. It sounds like I'm cheaping, to be totally honest. It sounds like a cheap. People turn and look at me all the time, and they're like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, that was a hiccup. It's this really high pitched, like, kind of thing. It sounds almost exactly like that. That's a hiccup. You know when Scott realized that was a hiccup? About 6 to 8 months ago.
Wow.
Meaning that my husband married me. He and I have been in a relationship for over 10 years.
Yeah.
My husband married me thinking I randomly just cheaped at shit. Because when this happened, it doesn't happen once. It happens 3 or 4 times, and then it goes away. Like normal fucking hiccups. So I randomly cheaped at things.
That's funny.
And I'm like, you would marry a woman that randomly cheaps at things? And he's like, guess so, yeah. So, on the plus side, I can be a lot fucking weirder and still stay in this relationship. On the negative side, I don't know what I'm doing that he already thinks is the weird shit.
Kelsey's like, where is the line? Oh, shit. I'd be experimenting. That's what I'd be doing if I was in that relationship at that point. I mean, let's see where this fucking line is at.
The consequences are pretty severe if I find it. So I'm like, risk reward, you know? Now I know I can cheap at shit randomly in public. I can do this in public and he doesn't care.
And he's just like, oh, that's cute. That's just Kelsey.
Randomly cheaps. That's fine.
That's Kelsey.
Nobody's talking to her, so she must need attention.
That's great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Megan is Megan, she when she sneezes, she does the high pitched one where it's a Hachoo! Like that. So when she does that, she fucking hates it because everybody in the office go, what was that? She's like, it was a sneeze. But like, well, you don't have to be ladylike. You can just sneeze and it's fine. It was a fucking sneeze. Like, I can't control how it fucking sounds. Like, she hates that shit because there would be so many times where when we were in the office, and we were working, she was actually a row over from me up, because like when we first started working together, we were literally right next to each other, right across the rows. And then I ended up getting promoted. And then she got promoted, and we were technically on the same team, but she did a different job than I did. I've always been a sales rep. So she was under a different manager, but she still supported our team. So we were in front of our manager, she was in front of hers. And so she was up there, and I was back here, and you would just hear it. And then I'm like, bless you. And then everybody like, that was a sneeze? You can let it out. I mean, yeah, you're in the office, but you can let it out. She's like, the fuck do you want me to do? Which is funny because I'm the other way. Like, I actually am the same with you with instead of the hiccups as the sneezes, where like I can have just normal sneezes. The only thing that's constant is I always sneeze 3 times. But then I have ones that just catch me off guard where they're loud as fuck. And I have no idea when they're coming. There's no difference to the lead up. It just happens. I just sit there, achoo, achoo, achoo. The other one's on, and I'm just, bam, it's just there. It's done. It's happening. And it's the 3 times, bam, every single time. Boom, 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 every single time. So apparently it's a Giles thing, because my daughter will sometimes sneeze twice and then sometimes sneeze 3 times. And my mom's always all like, 3 times? That's the Giles sneeze. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Everybody I know in my family sneezes 3 times. So I guess.
I only sneeze once, but Scott sneezes minimum twice, sometimes as much as 6 times. And so at this point, I just wait until he stops and then I say bless you, because I've tried the whole bless you after every one, but then I'm just staring at him waiting for the next one, and he's just like waiting for it, right? And that's a weird moment for me to be in your face.
Well, yeah, for sure. Fucking Kelsey's just out here trying to catch COVID. Sneeze on me. Anyways.
No, please, for the love of God, don't sneeze on me. Jesus.
But I actually am the other way with that one versus making the face. I like to know that the situation is awkward, so I like to go with it. So whenever Megan sneezes, she'll be like, achoo! And I'm like, come on, one more time. And she'll do it again, and I'm like, keep it going. And she's like, no, stop. And I'm just like, I do that shit to everybody. One more time. Hit me again.
So funny. You're the sneeze cheerleader, but it's weird.
Yeah. And then whenever they finish, then I'm like, bless you.
All right. Satisfactory performance. 6 out of 10. Do better next time.
Exactly. Because I think there was one time where she sneezed and she was in the shower and I was in here and I even yelled it from here. I was like, one more again. She's like, shut up. Because hers isn't like mine, where it's like it's always 3. She can do it once, she can do it 4 times. So yeah.
Who knows?
So that's why I'm like, one more again. She's like, no, stop.
Give me a laugh. That's amazing.
Oh man, I love it. That's great. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, the cheap. That was pretty good. Like I said, I'd be trying to figure out what that line is at 100%.
Right.
We're trying to figure out what that line is at. What can I do weird and get away with, you know?
I was simultaneously so angry that he thought I randomly cheaped. Like, that was what he thought of me as a person, was that I was just randomly cheaping at shit. Like, he thought that was in my, like, realm of okay social behaviors. I was so mad about that. But at the same time, there was this little small voice that was like, Kelsey, he thought you randomly cheaped at things, and he loved you.
And he still loves you. Yeah, exactly.
Like, he loves you. And I was like, that's great, but he thinks I'm a weirdo.
Now, do you think it's an aspect of he just thought you randomly cheaped? Or do you think it was more along the lines of he didn't really know what it was and didn't really have, like, not necessarily the courage, but just not necessarily the want to be like,
the interest to
what
find
is
out
it?
what
Yeah,
was
the
up.
interest. There you go. That's that. There you go.
I asked him, and I was like, what did you think I was doing? And he's like, I just thought you randomly cheaped. His exact words. And that's where I lost my shit.
Scott, I tried to give you an out. What the fuck, buddy? Damn it. Oh.
Thinking I randomly cheaped.
I mean, at that point, he might as well just be like, I just thought you were fucking psychotic. It's the same thing.
I mean, the only thing he could have said that would have been simultaneously better and worse would have been like, you do lots of weird stuff, so you cheap. Like, what else do I do?
What else do I do? You are opening a can of fucking worms on that one. Woo, buddy.
He would never. He thinks before he speaks, which is a brilliant thing that I don't do. And so I'm very grateful that he does, because every now and then he'll come back to me and he'll be like, that would have been a moment where the brain could have kicked in. I'll be like, yeah, that would have been a good moment, shouldn't it? Maybe next time. Let's see if the brain's up for it next time.
The sad part is a lot of people don't know this, but off screen, whenever I talk to Kelsey, whenever I talk about Dead Funny, I'm like, I'm glad you're like the opposite to me for the partner aspect, but yet we're both sometimes on the same wavelength, so that it's like, it doesn't work. We're good.
If I was too opposite, we wouldn't be able to do this. Like,
That's fair. That's fair.
we have to have some similarities to make this work.
That's fair. Oh man, that's great. Cheeps. Yeah, Kelsey Cheeps. There we go.
I cheap at things.
Now we just need to try to catch one of them on camera. There we go. Then that's internet famous forever.
Oh, I'll probably mute because it's high pitched and loud. Like, I'd actually be surprised if Discord would let it through. The same way that it shut your mom up when she screamed that one. Same
that
thing.
Shit was so funny. Oh my god. I can't wait for that video to come out. I'm gonna have James doesn't upload. I know he did the first one. He isn't doing the second one yet because I think the first one, I think we cut it off like right after we found her. And I think it was like 18 minutes. And then after that, it's like us actually exploring the place. Because I know you haven't played Devour. And it's like, it's a satanic game. Like, you're a Satan worshiper. And the person that you're going to go do the ritual at, she decided to do it by herself. So now the demon's in her. So now you're trying to do the opposite, which is like the first game, you're sacrificing baby goats to get the demon to come out of the person, and every time you do it, it pisses it off even more. So now, like, you've got like this 8-foot tall woman whose body's all fucked up because she's got this demon in her running around chasing you in the house. And when she catches you, it's fucking freaky. Like, your whole screen goes black and then her face comes up and she's just screaming in your screen, and then she's holding you like this, looking at you and laughing demonically as she runs upstairs and then drops you off in the attic where someone has to come up there with a first aid kit to pick you back up.
That seems like a lot. There's a lot to unpack in that.
There's a lot. Yeah. That was just the first level. We had to beat that. They just released the second level April 21st. And we did that the weekend it came out. And we didn't even stream it. So everybody in the Dead Funny community, you were getting our first reactions to the Asylum. And let me tell you, James literally was editing it. And as he was editing it, he's like, man, I did not notice how scared I was of this game until I'm editing it. He's like, I was scared a lot this game. I was like, I know there's some parts there where I'm like, I hear her laughing and I'm like, oh shit, she's coming, and I like go and hide somewhere. Oh man, that game's intense. I like games with stalkers. Like that's the big thing for me with scary games that makes it like more intense for me is the stalkers. Whenever they stop taking those out, because Resident Evil just started really like hardcore putting those in, and that's why I'm super happy about the one that's coming out tomorrow. Is that the main bad chick of the game? She's going to be a stalker, so she's going to be following you around the entire time you're in the fucking mansion, like the entire time. So like you get away, and you're like, all right, cool. Now I can fucking look for a clue over here, and if you're not paying attention, all of a sudden you turn around, she's just behind you. She's like fucking 9 feet tall, and then she's got these fucking Wolverine-like fingers that come out and just slice your ass. So I'm excited. I'm super pumped to play. I can't wait. I'm gonna be streaming it the entire weekend. Was it Joey? Yeah, I was talking to Joey. I didn't know Resident Evil games are so short. Like, I'm so used to AAA title games being so big. Resident Evil 7, the one that came out before this, was 7 to 8 hours from start to finish to beat.
God, that's short.
This one's supposed to be 10 hours. Now, to be fair, they've released a lot of DLC, and most of it's not stuff you pay for, which is great. And it's like locked in rooms and extra chapters and shit like that. But it's like, man, dude, I did not think they were that short. Like, that blew my mind. I was like, I guess I'm just so spoiled with Final Fantasy where I get in and it's like 55 hours of gameplay. And I'm like, let's go. Like, oh, shit. Because I was like, man, dude, I'm going to be playing that this whole weekend. Hopefully I can beat it by Sunday. And Joey's like, well, if you don't beat a 10-hour game by Sunday and you're going to be playing it all weekend, there might be a problem with you.
Yeah, we're going to be judging. We're going to be on your stream and we're going to be judging.
So, yeah. No, we're all going to be playing it this weekend. I can't wait to stream it. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. But we'll see. Got to do some reading up because I don't understand the main character and why he's there yet. But I'm pretty sure after we finish the game, me and JoJo will have lots of thoughts and opinions on it. So, because we kind of seem to be both in the same spot when we were talking about it. One thing that I do want to bring up right quick, and I'm going to save this for JoJo for the next podcast because we actually had a list. So I want to bring it up now. So hopefully we can do this for next podcast. But Kelsey, you should look at a list of games that came out in the 1990s that you would like to see a movie made out of, because we were talking about this during the Mortal Kombat. We were supposed to do it for this podcast. Unfortunately, JoJo couldn't be here, but next podcast we're going to do it, because we were going to come up with a full list. And I was like, I got to get in touch with Kelsey and see if. I was like, I think I even said in the review show, I was like, I don't know if I should even include Kelsey in this, because she didn't know fucking video games existed until fucking Mass Effect came out. So I was like, 1990 games, she's going to look and be like, I don't know what the fuck any of these are. But it actually blew my mind, because me and Megan were looking at a list that night of how many of these actually have movies, like Tomb Raider and fucking, there's so many of these ones have movies already. And I was like, holy shit. Because like me and JoJo are pretty much on the same page that we think that this is going to be a new craze. Now that we've had Sonic come out and it was successful, Mortal Kombat came out, it was successful, we think we're going to see a lot more 1990s. But he's like, Doom, that had a fucking movie, fucking Tomb Raider had a movie, Sonic's got a movie, Mortal Kombat's got a movie, Final Fantasy had a CGI movie. Like, I mean...
Well, we've been and by we, I mean media conglomerates in general of various forms have been repackaging 80s nostalgia now for what, 7 or 8 years, almost a decade, and they're going to hit on 90s nostalgia soon, because the people that are buying 80s nostalgia will also buy 90s nostalgia, and people from the 90s are finally like gainfully employed and will also buy the 90s nostalgia.
Finally.
Some of us more than others. So I think, we're going to be seeing this consistently. I think we're going to see more of it. I would place my hat on we're going to see more of it in 10 to 20 years, probably closer to 10, because they're going to want to hit us right about the same time our kids are going to be set for it, and they're going to be
so that way we can be like, hey, let's take this
with your kid, and then we're motivated to spend the money, and they're motivated to possibly get a whole new generation involved. So my guess is sometime in the next 10 years, we're going to see a lot of 90s nostalgia coming out. You heard it here first.
There you go.
Kelsey's I am not the only person with this particular thought.
Kelsey's predictions.
Let's be real. This is not unique.
Oh, man. I just want a Zelda movie. That's all I fucking want. I just want a CGI Zelda movie.
Right?
No.
Yeah,
no.
I was just about to call you on your bullshit.
No. CGI. We don't need live. I don't want a single live action person in it.
No.
If they did live action Zelda, or if they tried to do a live action Final Fantasy, like, I won't even watch it. That would be probably the hardest thing in my life ever. Like, it took a lot for me to not watch the Dragon Ball Z movie. It took a lot. Like, I grew the fuck up watching Dragon Ball Z. Oh, man. If they made a Final Fantasy VII movie with real people and I didn't go see it day one and all I heard was that it was terrible, man, it would take everything in my body to not go and watch that fucking movie. Oh, God.
Even if you knew you were just going to be hurt.
Yes, even if I knew I was going to be hurt, I think I would still have to see it. Oh, my God. That would be rough. I don't even think about it.
So I'm going to take this in a whole new direction, but that's got to be what sex is like for male, like, bugs that are eaten by females after
population.
Absolutely. That whole, like,
I know I'm going to die,
I know it's going to suck, but
gotta see what it's like.
I have to know.
I have to know.
Right?
That does suck.
Yeah, so that drive right there, you now understand male praying mantis much better than you did 10 minutes ago.
I mean, to be fair, I already knew that, but...
No, but
when you line it up next to something, yeah.
Well, a lot of people are just like, oh, well, then you don't have sex. Done. Problem solved. And it's like, you're working with a bug brain, which is not a human brain.
No.
Two very different things.
Yeah, like as a human, I could kind of understand a little bit more because we're a little bit more complex. And it's just like, if you never had it, you wouldn't know that you'd miss it,
And you don't have people telling you it's great because most of them are dead. Obviously, they don't eat all of the males. Just to be clear, in case you didn't know that, they don't. But enough of them have been observed to be consumed afterwards that it's a statistically significant likelihood.
There you go. Fair enough.
I don't think Tinder would be as big of a deal if randomly women just ate men afterwards.
That would be interesting. As someone who's been on Tinder before, I would definitely like to see profiles be like, I promise I won't eat you afterwards.
I just ate somebody 2 days ago, so I'm still full. I still have leftovers. I won't eat you if you want to come by. Now's the time.
Oh, man, that would be nuts. That would be nuts. Tinder would be a word, because I know there's things on Tinder like I know they have a built-in system that you can sign up for where it actually, which I applaud Tinder on this one big time, which you won't really ever hear me say about dating sites in general, but it's like a safety network to where like you can alert this thing whenever you're actually going to go meet with a person and give it all the details and stuff, and then set a time that you want to be home by, and it literally will notify the cops if you have not checked in by that time whatsoever, which I think is fucking phenomenal. That should
There are an
100%
epic fuck ton
be a
of
thing.
those apps for
Yeah.
women specifically. Like there are walking home apps where you have your phone out, you have your finger on the phone. It's a dead man switch,
There you
and
go.
if
Even better.
you
Yeah.
and so if you get affected when you're walking home, you can drop it and it will alert. It'll alert multiple contacts. It'll record your immediate location. It'll start audio recording and things like that. So if you have to drop this, like you have, I think like 3 seconds or something to pick it back up. So if you just drop your phone, you're not like alerting everybody that you know. But there are a whole
awesome.
bunch of apps like that because people aren't safe and they
No.
should be. And so if we can build in safeguards with things you're already going to have on you, let's do so.
Absolutely.
Also,
Completely agree.
just don't attack people.
Yeah.
In
There
case
you
you're
go.
watching the show and you attack anybody, don't.
Don't.
You're a shithead. And also stop watching this content. Just stop what you're doing in all ways and rethink your life.
Yeah. You need
Get a
some
counselor,
serious,
Jesus Christ.
some serious self-thought into that one. So, but yeah, that's a perfect note to leave it on. Don't attack people. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, don't attack people. Hit us in the comment section below about how you like to also not attack people. It's great. But yeah, seriously, comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and views on some of the topics that we talked about here today. We got our Twitter links, our Twitch links down there. Make sure you also check out the merch as well. Store will update, somewhat regularly, I guess I should say, not frequently, but regularly.
Occasionally.
Winter season, we'll have, the beanies and stuff like that. There's cool shit, man. Go check it out.
The beanie!
Me and Kelsey put in some hard work on that store. I'm proud of that damn thing. All right, it looks great. So go check it out. I'm still working on other things. I want to get some Dead Funny crew socks. The only problem is I haven't figured out how I want to do it yet. Where it's like the big stamp that goes all the way around, or a whole bunch of little stamps. The only problem is that I have to individually do that, and I don't think I have the time or the willpower to do that right now. But I want a pair of Dead Funny crew socks so bad. Oh, black with like the red toe, red heel, and then the little Dead Funny stamp logos all over it. I got a pair of Maker's Mark that I'm wearing right now, and they're fucking great. Literally red toe, red heel, blue, and then they got little Maker's Mark bottles all over them.
That's adorable.
I know, right? So good. I wore those to a meeting whenever I was going to go meet a client in person at my job, because we don't do that much. And I wore those, and the guy that I was doing the interview or the presentation with looked down. He's like, "Are those whiskey bottles on your socks?" I was like, damn right it is. That way the guy knows I'm business, and when I go to sit in a chair, it's like, he likes to relax. All right.
That's 0% of what that man was thinking, but okay.
It's 0. Yeah, absolutely. He didn't even get to see me because the table was in the way. So, yeah, it didn't work. But hey, I love those socks. Anyways, yeah, like, subscribe, and at the end of all this, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time.